Okay, in this video, we are going to go over the scanner class and how to use it in Java. So our goal really is just basically to get an understanding of how to use it. And we might also talk more about like the Java API, which is helps you figure out how to use something like scanner. All right, and so I guess I'll put a quick note here is the scanner class in Java is used to get input from the user. Okay, so far we've mostly just been displaying stuff out to the user on the command line, but we can also have them input stuff on the command line, and that's what the scanner class is used for. So it's kind of neat because you can start to do basic like interaction with your user. Okay, so what we want to do here is we're just gonna how you might use scanners. Just a very basic one is get the user to enter their name and then say like hello, whatever their name is. All right, so if you want to load up a one called like a scanner example or something like that, we can kind of code this together and then you'll have it for your reference purposes. All right, so hopefully you've got this typed out. You know, pause the video if you need to here, obviously, to get it typed out and set up. Java comes with every basic program comes with some like really common things like strings and doubles and ints. Okay, but scanner is a different type of variable, and because it's not as common as the other ones, it's not automatically built into the start of a Java program. All right, so what we have to do is do something called an import statement, and it goes at very top. You can put it, I think, above. I'd probably put it below the package statement actually. If you got a package statement up here, put it below that. But basically, you're going to type import, and then it's Java dot, and you can even see this kind of nice Eclipse completes it. Java.util dot scanner. I think that's the right one. And all this is a path to a location of this file called scanner, which is some code that's already been written, and we're just going to use that code in our program. Because it's not built into the default of Java, we have to import it. As you make more advanced programs, right, if you look at like a really advanced one, there'll be like a ton of import statements up at the top because you're using a lot of different features of Java that you have to import them. By default, Java doesn't import everything because that would take a lot of memory and a lot of time. So it only imports the basic ones. And then if you want a specific one like scanner, you have to add an import statement up at the top. Okay, so now we're going to create the scanner. And it's the type. So no matter how we have like an int type, we also have a variable type called scanner. And I'm just going to call it scan and then say equal new scanner. Okay, so this is, again, an object type, right? Because it's got this uppercase letter here. And then with an object type, typically you're going to do new and then the name of it again. And then what do we want to scan? So you could actually scan maybe like a website or a file, a text file on your computer. But what we're going to scan is called system.in. Okay, so much like we have system.out, right, system.out, this is system.in, and we're going to scan that for the users, whatever they type in. All right, and so to use this scanner, now that we've got it created, just like you do with string, you use dot operations. So you can type scan dot, okay, and you can see all the different things. You can actually close down the scanner. I usually do that at the very end. It's not required, but it's not bad practice. Right, but we can type scan, and then what we're really going to use is these next. Okay, so if you want to get a Boolean, you can see there's a next Boolean, there's a next double, a next int. Okay, so those will get from the command line the next integer they type, the next double they type, whatever it is. Okay, and so for strings, you're actually going to use next line, which gets the next line of text. Okay, so I'm typing scan.next line, and that'll get the next string that they type. And then we got to store it, right? So this gets it, but remember it like returns it. So when we want to store it, I'm going to type like string first name, maybe just name equals whatever is returned by that scanner right there. Okay, so that's going to scan for their name. And so one tricky thing you got to remember about scanner is you actually have to prompt the user to enter their name. And so the reason for that is the program will just wait here until they type in their name, but the user won't know what to do unless you give them a command first. Okay, so maybe I'll run that and show you when it's not working here. So let's kind of complete this part. Let's do a sys out and then say hello plus whatever they typed for their name. All right, and so you would think this would work, but again, if I run it, this line, the program is going to not ever get to line 15 because it's going to wait here for them to type something. All right, so if I run this, my window actually doesn't even pop up. It's running, but that little window that normally pops up doesn't display because nothing has like no print has been done yet. So let's see if I can find it here. Oh yeah, so I can see in my console here, this little red thing means it's running, but it's just waiting for me to type. So if I type, it's right on this line here. So now I can type Billy or something. It'll actually run and say, hello, Billy, but it was waiting for this. Okay, so to make the program work sort of correctly, you need to tell the user, please enter your name. Okay, so we're going to do a sys out and say, please enter your name. Can put a colon there. Now when we run it, type in a name and it says hello to whatever name they typed in. Okay, so just a couple notes about scanner that I want to make sure we remember is scanner is going to be an object type, right? So we got the primitives with the lowercase letter. I'm not sure we talked about char actually, but we've talked about the other ones. And then string and like scanner are examples of uppercase reference types. Okay, and so the big thing there is remember when it's an object type, you're going to use dot, right? The dot operator. So here we're using dot next line. And that isn't true of a primitive, where if I have like int x equals 7, I can't go x dot. That doesn't work. Okay, that works with the object type of the reference type. So if I do string str equals mac, and then you do str dot, then you can do a bunch of stuff. And again, that's because it's an object or reference type, uppercase letter. Okay, so where do we want to go next? Maybe let's try a second string. So if you want to make another scanner example, we'll do one more of these together. So I'm going to go File, New, Class, and make scanner example 2. All right, and I know I'm going to need my import statement. All right, so it's import, and it's hard to remember where to find everything. Like it gets hard, but you can always look back to the previous examples. And we'll have some notes I'm going to have you take here too for the default scanner stuff, just to make sure you got it. And then I'm going to type out main. And again, I would practice typing out main for a while. Once you got the hang of it, you can kind of cheat. So you can actually type main and then control space bar and then enter, and you can get a main method that way. It's kind of slick. Okay, and now we're just going to do a second program. Okay, so the second program we're going to make is have user enter what they scored on a test, enter their test score and the number correct. Oh, so like I should say the total points. Let's do this. So enter their total points and their number correct, and then return the percentage that they got on the test. All right, and I put a little note here to myself to remind students that you only need one scanner object, right? We only need one scanner variable, and you can scan multiple different things, right? Sometimes students would make a new scanner each time they wanted to scan something, but you only have to make it once, and then you can keep using it. So in this one, we're actually going to scan two things, the total points and the number correct. and then return the percentage. All right, and in this program, you could use either ints or doubles. Either one would work just fine. All right, so let's make our scanner object. So it's scanner scan equal, and you could call it S or whatever you want. And again, we're always going to be scanning system.in for now. All right, and then we need to do our print thing. So we need to say, please enter the total points. Okay, and then we want to use our scanner. So we're going to do S dot, and then whatever you want. So we did next line in the previous one, but you can do like next double or next int would get the next integer or the next double. Right, and so you could argue either one here, but I'm just going to use doubles just to be safe, especially because my percentage in the end could be a double, so it probably makes sense to use doubles. Okay, so after I ask them to enter the total points, I'm going to scan for the next double, and I want to store it. So I'm going to make a variable called total points and set it equal to whatever is scanned here. So it's going to scan it and store it here. And then I just need to do these two lines again, pretty much. Except now I want to say, please enter the number correct. And then I'm going to call this like num correct. Okay, so notice that, again, I made one scanner and I'm scanning twice. Once to get the total points, and then a second time to get the number correct. So I don't have to make a second scanner. I can just keep using this as many times as I want. Okay, and then whenever I'm done using it, I can type s.close because I don't need it anymore. All right, but you can use it over and over. You could use it 100 times if you had to. It's just there scanning whatever they type in, right? And you don't even have to do the same thing. I could do next line then if I needed to scan a string next, right? You can do whatever. All right, so if you haven't already, see if you can finish this, right? Now we want to display the percentage. Let's see if you can display the percentage here. Pause the video and give it a shot. Okay, so I'm going to do sys out. And you could do this in more than one line if you want, but I'm going to say the percent is plus, and then I'm just going to divide them, the num correct divided by the total points. Okay, and you could do like a times 100 there if you wanted or something to make it look more like a regular percentage. However you want to do it. You could add a percent symbol or something like that. So let's say there's 50 total points. I got 49 right. That would be 98%. All right, so that's a second example where we're scanning doubles instead of strings. So definitely save these for future reference. And I got a couple final notes to finish up here. All right, and so here's again, some general picture of it is you create the scanner, you print out, enter something, you scan it, right? And you're going to use next whatever. So next int for an int, next double for a double. And one of the weird things is for a string, you actually do next line, not next string. So that's a little strange. All right. Yeah, I think that's it for this video. It's kind of funny. You start to make interactive programs at this point. All the homework ones that involve scanner, you should be at a point where you're getting pretty close to being able to do those. So reach out if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.